my mind, I thought Nepal is this little paradise in the mountains, very small, very pure. And then I landed in this big city. It was 19 years ago. It was already a big city. The smells, the people around me, the chaos. It was charming at that one point, and I never went back. Basically, I just stayed. I came with one backpack and I'm still here. What I did realize and what was really overwhelming in the beginning was how polluted the place is. And you see everywhere these piles of waste, you see a lot of pollution. I wanted to be someone who does not follow the same system. Growing coffee and making coffee, well, having it in your cup is an art. I always say Kar.Ma coffee is an experience. It's not just a coffee shop where you drink a coffee. It's a place where you can learn about the people who are involved, who are making everything, and the stories they have. In the Buddhism, Kar.Ma is an approach that everything you do influences your life. It comes back to you one way or the other. So we thought that's actually perfect. This is what we are, how we are living and what we are believing in. And that's how Kar.Ma coffee started. I didn't know coffee is growing in Nepal. So for me that was like, interesting idea. Let me go and check that out. This is how I came to the first coffee farm. And I really thought, how could I utilize this experience and do something different? Let me do an experiment. Let's just try to create a little bit of a coffee culture my way. I decided I will not work with big coffee machines. I will work with manual brewing. Then I realized, okay, if I want to do everything manual, we need to make it easy for the people working with me. So I designed my own brew station. I also didn't really have money to invest a lot, so I started working with a carpenter who worked with mango wood because it's waste wood. Basically, a mango tree is cut if it doesn't carry fruits anymore, and you plant a new one and the wood is just rotting. This was the first product. But out of necessity, I realized this is actually a great opportunity to create much more than just brewing a cup of coffee. The exciting part is to basically look into waste and see how can you utilize that and create something totally new, beautiful, with new value that is high standard and for the modern taste. In the very beginning, I found Jamarco, that's a woman-led enterprise, and they recycled paper. When I saw that in my business I have a lot of filter paper that basically was thrown after a single use, I went again to them and said, listen, I have all these filters, can we make lamps out of it? They were willing to experiment with us. They have very similar values. And they said, yeah, let's try. We came up with this amazing pattern and foldable lampshades, chandeliers. So this is one example of how we basically utilize existing skills but integrate something new and come up with a product which is totally different. When you come to the cafes, you can see how we collect all the filter ground from the brewing. We really try not to throw anything. We also figured out it's really good for cosmetics. It has a lot of benefits for your skin. I found this wonderful company that already produced cosmetics with natural herbs from the Himalayas. I went with the coffee grounds to them and said, can we do something? Can you sample for me a series with coffee? They came up with this really fantastic coffee soap. We utilize this soap now in various hotels where they buy big loaves, so they save buying small packaged soaps and can just cut it fresh and give the people a little piece of soap. So this is also a small contribution to avoid waste. We intentionally try to include more and more stakeholders and help to utilize waste products and add value to it and avoid importing, reducing carbon footprint. There is a company that trains women who had no income into stitching and sewing and is sourcing the cotton from Nepal, is doing everything in Nepal. They sampled cotton filters. During the pandemic, we realized the cotton filters make a lot of sense. So now we shifted all our operations to the cotton filters, and you can reuse them for more than half a year. And you see them drying in the sun on the rope. We did a calculation, and just from mid-July 2020 till mid-July 2021, that was during the pandemic, we sold 11,050 cups. This means we saved 11,050 filter papers just while shifting to cotton filters, which has a benefit because you save money, but also you save a lot of trees. What I realize now is all the puzzle pieces came together, and out of the necessity, I created a little circular economy. So we try to inspire through showcasing the little steps someone can do. We don't use the sugar sachets. We basically buy sugar in bulk and just fill our own copper sugar pots. Wherever possible, we try to buy bulk and utilize it in our own jars, jugs, anything where we can store to avoid any plastic and any small packaging. We get a lot of feedback of the young people who come and say, this is the only place which feels like our living room and where we get inspired without being taught. It stays in their minds, and that they bring it back to their own families and, suggest maybe we should also do it that way. My wish is that people realize you don't need to change the world with the big solutions. You can start changing it with very small solutions. And if you just look around what's happening in your environment, there are so many things you can do, and you can also motivate others to do. If everyone would do that, I think big change would happen.